Okay, I want to talk a bit about Voja. I think I'm pretty close to the final build. It feels like something is still a bit off. I'm not sure exactly where it's off, but right now I'm going to try changing the manabase. So, right now, I only have 3 basic mountains. Pull this back a bit. Pull it up a bit. There we go. I've got the green tinged shocklands, the green tinged checklands, and a lot of men elves. So it's green heavy. Now, something about Voja, the deck itself pulls in 2 different directions. It pulls elves and wolves. There's a lot of overlap because of the green, but there are only 2 red elves I know of. There are some elves that are green-red. Probably a few green-white elves. Yeah, like Tolsimir Wolfsblood, who creates the Voja token. He is green-white, now that I think about it. He'd be great in this deck, but I don't have an extra copy right now. So it's pulling in 2 different directions, and I didn't help by putting in a 3rd direction of things that make the deck run better. Or tricks, like, okay, this is green, so it doesn't really count. But when I shoved in, okay, that's green, that doesn't count. Elish Norn. Not an elf, not a wolf, but a really good creature since most of the others are small. A lot of the wolves are kind of small. And they need a boost. And relying on Voja attacking to give them the boost, give them the counters, isn't as reliable as I like. And then I've got tricks like this, Soul Sculptor. So I can make a creature an enchantment and it loses all abilities. And then if I have, say, the Null Mage, what is she called? I hate it when I forget the name of the damn card. Who the hell is she? Come on. Jesus Christ, is she near the top? Did I already pass her? Yeah, No Mage Shepherd. So, No Mage Shepherd, if I made a creature into an artifact, or enchantment, if I made it to an enchantment, and then I can blow it up, and tap 4 and tap creatures of control, doesn't have to be her. If they have summoning sickness, doesn't matter. I can turn a creature into an enchantment, it has no abilities, and then I can destroy it. So little tricks like that I put in the deck, which pulls the direction away. Recovery and protection. A lot of it is white. Again, it pulls the focus of the deck. Now, 20 years ago, I would have made just all wolves, all elves. Yeah, go. But I know now that's not effective. I need ways of protecting the team. I need ways of disrupting my opponents. So I can't just do stack wolves, stack elves, some lands, Voja, go. Doesn't work. And the mana base reflects that. So I don't have any red-white linking lands. I don't have Battlefield Forge. I don't have Sacred Foundry. Because it's so green heavy, I don't feel like I need them. But I still feel like the mana base is missing something. So, in light of that, let me see if I can stand him up. There we go. So, to continue talking about Voja, I need to talk about General Domain. Because right now, I want to shove fetch lands into Voja. I want to give him his 3 fetch lands. Arid Mesa, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath. But I don't have any extras. Eternity Vertige, my LGS doesn't have any available, so I can't buy list them. I don't want to buy any more cards in MKM until I sell cards, so I'm kind of stuck. Unless I take a Windswept Heath, a Wooded Foothills, and an Arid Mesa out of General Domain, which is my modern Domain Matters deck. So it's got Territorial Kavu, it's got Treble Flames, it has Draco. foil Dracos. I understand Draco has become a bit of the combo piece, and the price has gone up, but I ain't selling mine because then I won't have them for this deck. So I'd rather keep them to enjoying my janky little domain deck than sell them off for somebody to take them to a tournament. But anyway, so let's talk about the lands. Why I have General Domain has a dozen fetch lands. 4 heath, 4 heath, 4 foothills, 2 arid mesa, 2 marsh flats. So if I take out one of each, I need to replace them with something. The reason is, so the idea of the deck is, first turn, I play a fetch land or I just play a Triumph tapped, get that out of the way because the deck only has one card that can possibly play on turn 1, Lightning Bolt, that's it. Everything else costs 2 or more, everything. And then the second turn, I either need to play the fetch land or the shock land. I need to play the shock land that adds the missing pieces or fetch for it. So if I survive Triumph and Stomping Ground, I'm not in the place I want to be because I double mountain. I need the island. I need breeding pool. So if I have Savai, I need breeding pool, so I need a way to get it. That's the puzzle that General Domain has to work with, and it's part of the fun of the deck. Sorting out that puzzle is part of what I enjoy with the deck, oddly enough. Some people might say, well, don't you want it to be consistent? Yeah, but it's kind of fun wondering if I can get the pieces together and have all 5 land types on turn 2. That's part of the fun of the deck. So anyway, if I take these out for Voja, 1 foothills, 1 heath, 1 mesa, then he goes down to 3 foothills, 3 heaths, 1 mesa. What if I put these in? I got these out of opening a couple boxes of Modern Horizons. What if I give him a Rainforest, a Catacombs, and a Tarn? Alright, so Arid Mesa is mainly there to find one of the red tinge lands. Stomping Ground, of course it could find Sacred Foundry, it could find either half. There'd still be one in the deck, and none of these get the white part. None of these help with that. They can get the other half of it, especially these 2 that are tinged with green. I have no qualms about putting those in, and those kind of directly replace the heath and the foothills. So they get the green, which is one of the key colors in this deck. So Scalding Tarn replaces the red half, but not the white, and I completely lose the white by taking these out. 2 of these find white, but I still have other fetch lands in the deck. So my question is, am I weakening General Domain? Am I making it stronger? Or am I having a neutral effect on it by doing this? I'll have to play test it and see. But anyway, so that's the idea now. Okay, so what I would take out of Voja for the fetch lands, so to make him more consistent. Oh yeah, new addition to Voja, Swiftfoot Boots. I realized I really need another way of giving him haste. I need him to attack as soon as he comes into play, start drawing me cards and giving my team counters. And that's kind of what he wants to do, and he gives me a dirty look when he doesn't do it. So I need to help my wolf out and give him ways of running into the battle as soon as he hits the board. So I can take out Crystal Verge. Don't need that because I'm replacing it with actual fetch lands. No coming into play tap nonsense. Where's the other easy cut? City of Brass. I'd rather fetch than take a point of damage every turn. And then for the third one, so I probably should just take out a forest. The deck has something like 11 forest, 3 mountains, 3 plains, which maybe I should revise that because I have started to bleed out some of the green by taking out the elves and replacing them with a few more red wolves. I just need to experiment more with that. So those are my ideas for Voja. That's some of the biggest changes. It's changing the mana base. Other than that, I think I finally got the wolf count where I want it. So I've got, I believe it's 15 wolves. And I've got 17 elves. I took out the bowmaster because I realized I didn't care about it as much as I thought I would. So I went ahead and took that out. Of course, added the boots. Any other big changes for Voja? I still do not have his Maskwood Nexus. And I'm wondering now if I even want it, if I even need it, because of Titania Song. Because I've got Mirror Entity, and just because I have enough elves and wolves. I don't need all the creatures to be elves and wolves. I don't need some spectacular rush of having, say, 10 creatures, and I make all of them wolves and all of them elves, and they all get +10/+10 because they're all elves, and I draw 10. That's nice, it's fun, but it scares the hell out of my opponents that I can do that, and they start gunning for me. So it's probably better that I control that and just, everybody gets 3 counters. Everybody gets, I draw 3 cards. That sort of thing. What else has changed with Voja that might interest you? So Mirror Entity is in. I think I already talked about that. Asceticism is in. Scrorak is in, even though Titania Song will shut it off. I think it's important. So Bowmasters, I lose the other thing about Bowmasters is I want to keep elves in my hand. So if there's a 6/6 flyer or an 8/8 flyer, some big nasty thing, I want enough elves to kill it. So I'm holding them back. I'm not casting them. I'm not letting Voja put counters on my other creatures and the new creatures because I'm holding them in my hand. So that tension I didn't really like. So that's another reason to take Bowmasters out, to relieve that tension. Still have Hurricane. Hurricane, of course, takes out as many flyers as I put the mana to it. And if I'm at more life than my opponents, and if I can pump it hard enough, it takes them out too. X damage creature at flying in every player. And then the other things that help me feel more confident that I can handle flyers. Okay, of course, Bounding Wolf. Who else? Yeah, Shalai and Halar. So they're a flyer. They're only 3/3, but Voja attacks, they should get bigger. And then, of course, I still have the Chronos of Memorial, and that gives all my creatures flying, so I don't have to worry about other people's flyers. I thought I put another reaching creature in the deck, but maybe I didn't. Of course, she can destroy an artifact, enchantment, or creature at flying. Only on my turn, sorcery speed, and it gives her negative, so it's a special purpose weapon. Then of course I've got that combo. I think that's pretty clever. I'm overly proud of myself for figuring this out. Yeah, Sculptor. Kozlik over there. Ah, he's big and scary. Okay, when you go to your combat step, before you can, once you're in your combat step and you can't cast any creatures because you're in your combat step, then before you declare attackers, I'm going to turn him to attachment. Into an attachment. Yes, I'm going to turn him to an attachment and email his ass to you. That's what I'm going to do. No, I'll turn him into an enchantment, and then I'll use my No Mage Shepherd and these other 3 creatures and destroy him. Blow. I like that. It makes me happy to think about that. I don't think it's going to happen that often, but I like thinking about it. Did I put any more reachers in here? I thought I'd put another reaching wolf, but apparently not. So anyway, those are the changes to Voja's manabase that I'm making. Those are the changes to general domain that I'm making. And I'll put up both deck lists so all of you can see it. And tell me if you think I'm smoking crack by doing this, or if I've made a good decision. Obviously for Voja it's a great decision because he wants his fetch lands, but general domain, like I said, I don't know if it's going to have a positive effect, neutral effect, or negative effect. Cheers.